Top stalls. I've wrestled with them, you've wrestled with them. Today, we're gonna get them down for good. Drex here from DrexFactor.com, helping you bring the joy of flow into your world. And today, I'm gonna give you my best tips for learning how to do those gravity-defying top stalls. Before we dive in, however, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, LMF Props, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. So with all that out of the way, let's talk for a moment about top stalls and what they really are. I think of there being essentially 4 flavors to stalls: bottom stalls, down stalls, up stalls, and top stalls. The thinking here basically revolves around what direction the poi stops in when the stall completes, whether it points up or down, and whether it comes to a stop at the bottom or the top of that original circle. This applies whether you're stalling from a static spin or a flower petal. In every case, the point at which the poi stops is the same relative to your hand and the direction that the poi was moving before it stalled. Most of us learn down and bottom stalls fairly early on in our poi journey. They're super useful for transitions as well as switching between different timing and direction combinations. Up stalls and top stalls tend to be a bit more tricky because gravity is really working against us in both cases. Because they tend to be the most challenging stall, as well as the one that most of us learn last, I wanted to devote some time specifically to talking about top stalls and how to achieve them. I'll give you a little bit of theory of what makes all stalls work, and then teach you the tips that finally made top stalls click for me. So let's start with the theory. All stalls operate according to the same principle. As we spin our poi in a circle, we can imagine a box drawn around that circle, such that the two shapes overlap at the top, bottom, and the sides. When the poi passes by one of these points, if you move your hand straight out in that direction, the poi will depart from the circular shape it's been following to now move along the side of that box to the nearest corner. The poi will reach that corner right as the hand reaches the original point of overlap, and the momentum of the two will cancel each other out. The poi will stop moving. From here, you pull your hand straight back towards the center of the circle, and it will pull the poi head out of that corner. As your hand reaches the center of that circle, the poi head will return to following the curve of the circle. It will just be spinning opposite the direction that you started in. And this is how literally each and every stall that you can perform works. You're shifting the poi from spinning along a curved path to a straight path. You'll see that this is the pattern whether I'm stalling down to either side or up to either side. It's also the pattern if I stall along the bottom of the box or the top. The only thing that changes here is how the direction you stall in happens to interact with gravity. Okay, great in theory, and maybe you can even see how it works for down stalls, bottom stalls, and up stalls, but how do we apply that to top stalls? Well, we bring in one of the greatest poi tips I've ever gotten. Years ago, my friend Sean Stogner saw me struggling with these tricks and offered me an interesting observation. Let me show you what that is in slow motion. Notice that when I stall down or up, I'm more or less coming to a point where the poi head is straight up or straight down from my hand. If we compare this to what happens when I do a top stall, you'll see that rather than having my poi head straight out to the side when I stall, I actually have the head off to the side and then slightly below my hand. It's really subtle. I'm only getting my hand an inch or two above that poi head, but that's all that you need. This gives you an extra half second of hang time as you enter the stall. The timing is also really tricky. It's easy to accidentally just let the poi head fall as you attempt this, but aiming to have your hand stop just above the poi head will absolutely help you achieve that anti-gravity feel. Best of all, it happens so fast that the audience really has no idea. But wait, that's not the end of the story. We have to get back out of that stall too. And here's where I think the rubber really meets the road in terms of working on top stalls. If you don't nail the exit, even the entry of the top stalls can look a little sloppy. So let's figure out that exit right quick. Part of the key here is to realize that entering the stall with our hands slightly above the poi head also has an impact on how we exit it too. Think that you want to pull your hand slightly up and out to the side in order to exit the stall. When you're starting out, it's absolutely a good idea to exaggerate this motion somewhat until you get it locked into your body. The last piece of that puzzle is the timing. Everything else we've talked about really comes down to finding that ideal moment to pull back out of the stall. One exercise I've found that can sometimes help is to get your other hand involved. If you hold that hand out in front of you, try to stall your poi directly into it. You'll know it's time to pull back out of the stall when the poi taps your hand. This is also just a really great exercise in general for working on aiming your stalls too. This can also take some trial and error too. If you pull out too late, the poi will wind up with just a downstall. If you pull out too early, it'll likely whip around out of control. Work on it until you find that Goldilocks zone and practice till it's deeply ingrained in muscle memory. Cool, so hopefully this helps to both make your top stalls easier as well as cleaner to work with. Did any of these tips help you out with your top stalls? What poi tricks are you struggling with right now? Let me know down in the comments, and I might put together a video showing you just how to make that trick work. If you dug this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and of course, hit the notification bell. It helps people find my videos, and it makes sure that you know exactly when I drop a new one. Finally, a huge thank you to my awesome supporters on Patreon. They are the reason that this video and all the videos on this channel exist. If you'd like to help support the work that I do, please head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up. You'll get access to all of my content early, as well as a vote in what topics I tackle in the future. Thank you so much in advance, and I'll catch y'all soon. Peace.